The one game you think Arsenal might drop points in, I wouldn't call Selhurst Park a bogey round for them, but you think that Selhurst Park, Crystal Palace would be out for revenge. The fans were pumping as well, buzzing. But that man Jesus, it is in time for Christmas, isn't it? But this pre-record's out up late. You can probably tell by my voice, I'm very ill at the moment, and I thought, you know what? Let me drop a pre-record at least, get the work rate going, and yeah, and drop my notes as well because I did watch the game. So yeah, bear with me. If I cough or I sound out of it, then there we go. I should be back hopefully fine by tomorrow, but yeah, there's a case of the flu going around, and you know what? I think Crystal Palace caught it because they were absolutely atrocious. But you know what? I think Arsenal were just much better than them, much more quality. But yeah, let's get straight into it. Let me know your thoughts, and if you like the content, make sure to smash the likes, and furthermore, subscribe if you're new. You might like this content, so who knows? If it's for you, big up. So for me, this is what I come up with my notes, and we're gonna start off there. I think it's the easy one to say. By the way, Arsenal, big respect for that win from a rival as well. Reason being is because even coming from me a little bit, like you've been getting a lot of crap lately. You're not in the title race. You don't score from open play, which is fair enough. You only score from set pieces, which you did today as well. But last couple games, you can't really say that about them. There's just something about Arsenal in the Xmas period or New Year's. It's just this time last year, I believe you might have lost to West Ham and somebody else or drawn. There was a little blip in the road, but you turn up at one point. Maybe this was the game. But Jesus will score goals when he's in the mood. And right now, he's in the mood. Whether he's trying to play for a new contract or a late move, I don't think Arsenal fans will care. Because if you're on fire, you're doing a job. And you know what? Fair play. Because his goal, especially his second goal, was absolutely quality to pick that out. And you know what? It was harsh winds out there. People don't know this. And he picked that out, top bins. And I know people say, I come from a set piece, but that's not their fault, really. A goal's a goal. And it led to Palace being poor in the box, and there you go. You take your chances. Jesus is on fire. He should have probably scored a hat trick for me as well, and that's a shame on his part. But he already got one. Was it a Jesus hat trick? I'm pretty sure in the cup, and then now he comes up with another 2 goals. Now with Saka being injured, which we'll talk about as well, they got their man. And you know what? Fair play. I think Jesus thinks he's R9 in certain periods of the season. He done it for C, and now he's doing it for Arsenal. And everyone thought he was down and out. But right now, it's like, I don't think you want to be a defender that comes up against him. Somehow his movement's never been poor. It's just been his finishing. But is it me, or does he just look a little bit switched on, a little bit more than before? Maybe he's starting to get more game time where he's getting more like match sharp. He's in the mood. It's festive period. Who knows? There could be many, many different reasons for it, but he's a good footballer at the end of the day. And I think, there's the whole narrative, which I also said that, Jesus looks a lot more fluid when he's up front with like Saka, Martinelli, even with Trossard, who I thought they both played well together when Saka came off. I just think that's just a good partnership. Even with a back 3, they couldn't handle him. So, credit to Jesus, man, because Arsenal need this right now. Even the commentators said if they want to win this league, they're probably going to have to win at least 20 out of their next 22 fixtures, some crap like that anyways. But it makes it more interesting. I don't mind the fact that you beat Palace, really, because you know what? I'm not going to be anywhere near you. You know what I'm talking about. So there we go. I thought the next point is I thought your defense bar Lewis-Skelly, because I think he was your best defender, was quite poor. I said Raya bailed out the defense with some great saves. And you know what? There was one iffy moment with Raya. Or is it Raya or Raya? Where he he nearly gave away a goal. And I think it just went past the post. Whether I think it was a header or was it a shot. It doesn't matter which one it is. But after that, like, he switched on. Like a lot of keepers after that, they might lose a bit of confidence, can't carry on, might bottle it, but he was switched on. And you know what I mean? Saving headers from point blank range as well, double saves. He's wicked this season. And you know what? I think this is what Arsenal fans have been arguing about him when, it was the right choice to replace him with Ramsdale, where Ramsdale might have not done something like that. I'm not saying he's crap, Ramsdale, but, Raya is definitely an improvement. But he definitely bailed at the defense today. He's probably the most poor I've seen Gabriel and Saliba as a partnership under Arsenal in quite a long time. You still only conceded one, of course, but it's just like, you wanna get away any chance that's coming at your goal. And I thought Raya done really well today. So he was definitely, for me, he could have been one of the contenders for man of the match because like Palace could have equalized. They could have got up a goal when he was even 3-1 up. Even I think Sarr with a header in the second half. So yeah, he performed really well. Havertz and Jesus can play in the same team. Now, there's no way in my body or my bones that anyone can discredit Arsenal today. Let me take this. I'm so warm. My head is burning, people. Keep smashing that like button if you don't mind. They can play in the same team. And as long as like they can play off one another, I'm pretty sure that it will work in some cases because Palace couldn't work with Havertz shadow runs today. Sometimes it even looked like a 4-2-4, which we've seen with Arsenal, but they acted more like a pair up front sometimes. You see Erdegaard drop a lot deeper with Partey, some inverted fullbacks. I thought Timber done the whole role solid. A bit poor getting back for the first goal that he conceded, but other than that, mint, right? But today they had a good partnership. That's probably one of the better games I've seen Havertz in left centre mid. He didn't really put a fault in for me. He got his goal as well. It was literally someone strike the ball and then Havertz put it in the back of the net. That's exactly what was needed. It got the game going. And you know what? I'm kind of eager to see how if Arteta puts them as a pair a little bit more in the future, because if it works against the so-called smaller sides or the weaker sides even, I wonder if it could be a problem because against the back three, it's usually more solid if you've got a back five like a Palace does. So on that notice, we'll see in that case, but I thought they'd perform really well together, especially Trossard. I think he's one of them players today that won't get mentioned because I don't believe he got on a score sheet or got the assists, but he was really good, just keeping it simple and just moving. If you look at Trossard's movement, the right wing back, Klein, and obviously the right centre back, I think it was Gay, like they couldn't work out who to go with. And it just gave Havertz a lot of freedom to run into them sort of spaces in the half space. So, I think like one of them ones should definitely be mentioned. Arsenal can score goals without Saka. And I might be at fault for this because I'm thinking like, maybe this is just one game. Maybe it's just a little bit reactionary. But when you score 5 goals at Selhurst Park, it's not a joke. Saka came off the field. If I'm correct, was it 2-1? It might have been 2-1. It's like, Palace might get in here. I don't see how Arsenal get more goals. But Martinelli going right wing all of a sudden being more direct, really stretched Palace. And I just thought, they're still scoring goals. Okay, cool. What about the corners? Surely the corners won't be too much of an issue. They hit the bar pretty much minutes later. You know what I mean? You're hearing the fans saying set piece again, LA. It looks like Saka is going to be out for about 3 to 6 weeks, but if they can prove to themselves and prove to Arteta that you can still score goals and manage games without Saka, then that's how it should be. I wouldn't even say Erdegaard had the greatest game today. So I thought it was all about the other players rather than the two players that usually get all the praise and the glory from fans and rivals and whatnot. So you don't really hear that on the timeline today. So there you go. Powerful magic happens to Arsenal during the Christmas period. No one can argue with me with this. Like, if you go back over the years where it's Boxing Day, Newcastle game at the Emirates or whoever, Arsenal always pick up the pace around this period. We all know Arsenal to drop off, like where it's about April, roughly that period, maybe March. They have that period from like December, January, February, and it's like it's in their heritage. Go look at it. Like they just pick up a lot of pace. I would not want to play Arsenal, and I've got them soon in the FA Cup, right? So it's going to be a good game at that notice. But Arsenal got the festive power magic. I don't even know if that even makes sense, but it makes sense to me. But yeah, roll on. Arteta's game management was an easy 10 out of 10. The subs were easy. Like, I wouldn't even say that was a full strength Arsenal side in general. Like, when Declan Rice is not on the pitch, for me, anyways, they lack a little bit of urgency with pressing. And then, Declan Rice came on and I thought the game was finished. He came on and I think he picked up a knock, if I'm correct, recently. He might have just got saved because I think it was the other game where it was Everton where he drew and he came off. It looked like he was holding his groin area. He come on and finished them. Will Hughes was spent. He played midweek. So did Jefferson Lerma. They tried to swap him out as well. I think the Corey came on, but he couldn't get near Rice. Rice was just running ragged. And, even with the other changes, like Calafiori came on, had a bit of a scare. What a change to make. Lewis-Skelly for Calafiori. I still think Calafiori is their best defender overall. I thought Arteta's in-game management, which is typically criticised, I thought he rotated really well, And the way you just said play patiently and wait for your chances, I saw him do the, Cardama, like kind of thing. Arsenal just picked them apart in the end, 5-1. Declan Rice, goal and assist. You take that. You take them all, them GA all day long. Run with their agendas that you must need. It's a good player. I don't know if any of you want to agree with me, but Martinelli being more direct, there's your cough, count one. Martinelli's way better at right wing. Maybe it's easy to say when your team's winning, but if you go look at his overall gameplay at right wing, I don't really see him at right wing, by the way. I think he's too predictable on the left. And when it came to the right hand side, I thought his link up was quite decent with Erdegaard and Timber, especially Timber. And I just thought, when you simplify his game, he gets down the byline. He's kind of hard to get onto, by the way, in terms of like defending, and he puts in a good ball in the box. I think he was robbed of a couple assists today, even. One was a header. Who was it in the box? Was it Jesus even? I thought Jesus should have done a lot better with a header. And there was one cutback on the edge of the box. And I think it was a part. Might have been Rice even. Skied it. And I just thought, wow, okay. Like you're against quite a defensive fullback in Mitchell. And you had LaCroix over there trying to cover a lot. Because there was one point as well where, like these lot were covering a lot of space in behind. And then, but when Martinelli went on it, their line like came back even deeper. So I thought it definitely changed the aspect of the game, and the attitude definitely changed within Arsenal. They were just smelling blood, and I thought Martinelli definitely had, I think he got his goal in the end as well. And, I think he deserved it. One of the better players on the pitch. But man of the match today definitely is Jesus. But if you got other players that you feel could have got that man of the match, I don't know how you take it away from Jesus. He's a monster. He was everywhere. Then let me know in the comments. But anyways, look, my head is burning hot. I thought, let me get some content out. My voice don't sound as vibrant, but if you like it, you know what to do. Smash the likes if you like it. If you don't, then let me know what I could do better. And if like I like good feedback, and then subscribe, yeah. But other than that, in the peace. Hopefully you lot enjoy your festive holidays.